Welcome to part three. You've seen in the last part I did the beginning of the headstock shaping. I'm quite pleased with that, how that's ended up. A little bit of tear out on the corners. I still need to get to grips with how to use a router properly, but anyway. So now, plan now is to reduce the width of this so that we get the classic fender type slope down, etc. So I need to take about 5mm off of this, and I'm going to do that using the router sledge that I built for this purpose. So that's job number one. Take that down. Other things that need to be done. I've taken some width off of the fretboard, so that will now can be glued on. So essentially, once I get the headstock down, I'll then probably glue this fretboard on. I think will be the next thing, because then what I'm thinking is that I'll probably route that to closer shape using the flat side of this before doing anything else, and that will then give us uncarved neck with the fretboard on, and from there I can start probably rough radius this and maybe put the front markers on. That's my thinking, and then I'll think about carving the back of the neck, probably after I've got it fitted in, or at least had some form of doing the neck pocket on the body. That's the sort of plan for this episode anyway. We'll see how it goes. I'm very happy how that went. I'm quite glad I decided to take the route of the router sledge. You can see there. So taking it down. Surprising because visually it doesn't look right, but that's obviously because you haven't got the fretboard on there. So it looks like it's a lower slope than you were expecting, but that's perhaps a little thicker than some, but I mean it's within the ballpark of my quick analysis of the guitars I've got upstairs. So I'm happy with that, and then obviously when I put the fretboard on I'm then going to slope that up anyway, so this bit has got to be clipped down, but I won't do that till I've got the fretboard on, I don't believe. But no, overall quite happy with that. I was really pleased I went down the router route rather than trying to do that on the bandsaw. As you'll see, I took just like a millimetre off on each pass carefully, and then reset it, do it again, go down another millimetre. So possibly it could have been done quicker, fewer passes, but I'm a bit of a novice, as you know, at all this stuff. But I'm quite happy with that. I think we can progress from there. And obviously that needs some sanding anyway, so that will take a little bit more off once we get sanding both sides. So I'm not too bothered about it being a little bit perhaps thicker. I think I've measured it at about 15 0.8 or 9, and my average on the guitars upstairs was 15.5, so it'll do. Here I am having a practice clam pump. I've got the fingerboard ready and everything, but I wanted to just test out, trying to get as many clamps on as possible. I do have a couple more I could try and figure out how to put on. I'm just trying to figure it all out really, so I'm not doing that while glue's on it. I'll probably bring you back when I've got it all glued up rather than film that. I'd rather not have that pressure, and anyway, I'll show you when I've got it clamped. Fretboard clamped on. As you can probably see, I use the cocktail stick method. First of all, I wanted to put it through the nut, but the drill seemed to want to wander in there, and I sort of stopped, so I didn't want to screw up the nut line, but I put it through the first fret and the 21st. That's worked quite well. It really, you know, like some of these tricks that are obvious to other people, when I see them on things, it's been like, you know, that's the way for me to try and do it anyway. Really good. I've heard lots of people say you can never have too many clamps. You can never have too many clamps. I went and bought 4 more yesterday, and I am really glad I did. There's not a lot left lying around here that could go on there. I'm glad also I've got these sort of C clamp, G clamps, rather than the Fs. The Fs I find with these at least you can get some real pressure on them. That's what I feel anyway. But anyway, so I was glad I got them. Glad I did it this way. And that's it now. So I'm going to leave that probably 24 hours to set up overnight, etc. And then I'll show it what it looks like when I get the clamps off of it. Good morning. I've just taken the clamps off. Huge pile of discarded clamps. Many jokes from my family about could you get another one on there, but anyway, I'm very happy with how that's gone. Another first in the series of firsts for me. I've obviously never stuck a fretboard onto a neck blank before. So, checking with the straight edge, stick the light on and then look behind it. I've got, the good thing is that there's a little bit of fall away at the far end, which I've noticed with the neck blank, but actually that's quite possibly a good thing being up here, so I'm not so bothered about that. Overall I'm pretty happy with how that's gone, so now remove these, and obviously we'll get a I haven't got a proper fretting saw obviously as yet, so I'm just going to carefully cut down on those slots again, using this. There we go. And that should be fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp it down onto another bench that way, and then I'm going to use a pattern bit to try and tidy this up. I've got quite a bit of waste here, so I'm going to see how that goes tear out wise. If it's not a problem tear out wise, then I'll do that all with the router. If it does immediately look like there's tear out, might have to go for sort of files or etc. But anyway, hopefully the plan is to try and do that using the router. It worked quite well with the router. I'm quite pleased with that. Didn't get any tear out, which was the thing that was worrying me a little bit. Just tidying up the end here a little bit, using various things, starting with the Shinto and then going on to the files, and then obviously sandpaper, because just to get this the end bit in, because the router's never going to do that. If you had a proper router table, or if I had a proper router table, I would be probably able to achieve that, but that's for the future, not now. But these things are brilliant. They really take a lot off quickly, but you can do it with quite a bit of precision, really. That's what I found in my limited experience with them so far. I've used them on a couple of sort of part caster kit builds to sort of adjust paddle headstocks and that type of thing. And I just find them they get you to where you want to be pretty quickly, and from there then you can move on to less aggressive, such as files and then obviously sandpaper at the end. But as you can see how quickly that's got me to still needs a bit more work, but I'm very happy with that, very happy indeed. I'm just beginning to work the fretboard and into this so that we try and get a nice slope into this. That's the plan. I think the rasp is the easiest thing at the moment, and then I'll probably head for a file and then smoother, etc. But anyway. I'll bring you back, we're a bit further on. So after a few minutes with I did use some chisels in the end, files, sandpaper. I'm reasonably happy with that. It needs a little bit more tidying up, but I think we're there. So, quite happy with how the neck's progressing at the moment.